Hi there, I want to spend just a couple minutes talking about a few count functions. We will talk a little bit about this in class, but I wanted to go over these three specifically to explain the difference. So in front of me I have this workbook that I had made for another class that I have taught. But what I want to focus on are three different functions. So there is the function to count, the function to count all, and then there's the function to count blank. So the very first one I'm going to talk about is the formula that I have here. So what I did was I used equal count blank, and then I selected a range. What this did is it told Excel to go through that range and count the number of cells that has nothing in it, no numbers, no text, no entry. So that's simply equals count blank and then the range. And like every other function, this is one that's pretty easy to work with, so I tend just to type it directly in the cell. I would start typing and then select it from the list, and then you can either select your range or you can type your range and then just press enter. The second one is to count non-blank cells. So there is a difference. There is a function that is called count A and a function that is called count. The difference between the two, if you are using the count function, count is only going to count the cells that have numeric data in them. So if I use the count function, here I have equal count, inside of parentheses I have the range. This went through all my data and it counted only the cells that had some sort of number in them. On the flip side, if I use count A, basically that stands for count all. It is the same range, but you can see the numbers vary greatly. So using the count A function, I came up with 139 cells, as opposed to the 66 cells using just the count function. Count A counts everything. It will count a cell that has anything in it. It could be text or numbers. So those three functions each serve different purposes. Obviously, the two that tend to get most confused would be the count and the count A. Just remember that if you use count A, you are going to count every cell that has anything in it, as opposed to count, which will only count cells that have numeric data in them.